Hi, I'm Jacob Moore, and I'm doing my informative speech on federalism. Federalism is the division of power between national and state governments. Federalism is based upon the principles of politics and balance of power. For example, if you look at liberals and conservatives, liberals believe that the federal government have the dominant power, while conservatives think the state government should have the dominant power. Federalism, in its main regards, covers a few things, including protection of sinners where wealth gets concentrated, the ability to impede tyranny, and the ability to impede democracy and obstruct populism also. Federalism has had much development since it was put in place. What we used to practice is quite different from what is currently obtainable. Both state and federal government are incredibly powerful in their sphere. The reach of power of each one was well defined and preserved. The reason for this is that there was some measure of apprehension about the possibility of too strong central government. Federalism can also act in a way that ruptures democracy. The two systems have had the possibility of not being used because true democracy may only function within a unitary system of government. Another issue is just that there isn't a commonly accepted definition to describe federalism, or at least one that leaves everyone satisfied. But if you look at how federalism operates in the current state of government, change is prominent to the state governments becoming servants to the federal governments. While the Senate is now elected by people, which is a drastic change, and using income tax, the federal government was able to expand the amount of coffers state powers are negotiated with federal funds. There are several merits and demerits associated with federalism. Looking first at merits. One of the strongest merits of federalism is that it acts as a protection against tyranny. Federalism manages to do a good job to spread the powers among the three arms, which all act as the checks and balances to one another. This makes it the ideal system to check the excesses of people who may have dictatorial tendencies. The division of power into the three branches of government is an incredible use of democracy. This makes sure that all power is not focused on a single individual. This prevents a situation where excess powers get into the head of whoever may be in power. Also, federalism as a system ensures that there is efficiency in running the government. When some of the power gets shared among the different levels of government, it gives the states some room to resolve some of their challenges. And while federalism makes the management of conflicts quite easier, it isn't always completely beneficial. Now looking at some of the demerits of federalism. There are several reasons some people argue against federalism as the ideal system. It's believed that there has been a history of segregation and protection of slavery. This is because while slavery persisted, it could not get tackled on the federal level. Federalism is also perceived to breed inequality among the states that make up the country. Under this system, funding for certain things like education would not be the same on a statewide basis. This means that some states would have to spend more. The final fault is that states will want to compete with each other. The reason for this is that they will seek ways to reduce certain benefits. States will do this to encourage its residents to move to neighboring states. The pros and cons of federalism can be weighed. Federalism operates in a unique way, ideally to promote democracy. Benefits include the distribution of power, protection from all forms of tyranny, and increased citizens' participation and effectiveness. However, there are also several disadvantages, including inequality among states, protection of segregation, and slavery. That being said, ultimately federalism is a system put in place to help the government operate in the fairest way possible. Alright, we did it. There's no way this is going to be long enough.